Use case 3. We add a brand new sidecar, a metrics exporter, to our pod. We author it once on the trunk, then promote it environment by environment. Never copy-paste it. By the end of this lesson, you can add a new sidecar container once on the trunk, and enable it environment by environment, in Helm with a capability flag, and in Customize with a component. Here is the scenario. We want Prometheus metrics from our pods, so we add a metrics exporter sidecar. The key principle: this sidecar is authored exactly once, on the trunk. Then it is promoted environment by environment. Right now dev and test have it enabled, prod does not yet, it is lagging, waiting for its turn. Picture the change. Before, the pod held one container, checkout API. After, it holds two, checkout API plus a metrics exporter sidecar. The sidecar exposes a metrics port and scrapes the main container. It is a small addition, but the question is how we roll it out safely, one environment at a time. The discipline here is important. The sidecar definition lives on main, once. It is not duplicated into 3 branches. Each environment simply opts in when it is ready. Promotion means enabling the sidecar for that environment, flipping a flag, or including a component. No branching, no copy-paste, no drift. See the rollout. The sidecar is authored once, on the trunk. From there it is enabled in dev first, then test, then prod, each one a small, deliberate opt-in. The definition never changes between environments, only whether each environment has turned it on. In Helm, the sidecar sits behind a conditional block in the template. The flag, metrics exporter enabled, defaults to false in the base, a safe choice. The dev and test values file set it to true. The prod values file leaves it false, because we have not promoted it there yet. Finishing the rollout means flipping prod's flag. See the gate. The deployment template asks, is the metrics exporter enabled? If true, it renders the sidecar container. If false, it renders nothing at all. So the very same template serves every environment, the values file alone decides whether the sidecar appears. One template, many outcomes. Here is the gated template. The main container always renders. Then the if block, if the metrics exporter is enabled, render the sidecar too, otherwise, the block produces nothing. Written once, on the trunk. The only thing that varies per environment is the value of that one flag, and here are the values. The base defaults the flag to false. The dev overlay flips it true, promoted. The prod overlay keeps it false, lagging. To finish the prod rollout, change that one line to true. The sidecar then appears in prod, re-rendered from the exact same template that dev already uses. Confirm it yourself. Render dev, and you will see 2 containers, the main app and the exporter. Render prod, and you will see only one. The flag is doing all the work. The diff between dev and prod is exactly that extra container. One sidecar. Authored once. Promoted by a flag. Customize packages the sidecar as a component, a folder called component/metrics exporter, containing the patch that adds the container. Each overlay that wants the sidecar lists it in its components block. The dev and test overlays list it, the prod overlay does not. Promotion, in Customize, is literally adding one line to prod's components list. See the inclusion. The base pod feeds every overlay. The metrics exporter component is wired into dev and test with a dashed line, those overlays included. The prod overlay has no such line, so it renders without the sidecar. To promote to prod, you draw that one line, add the component to prod's overlay. Here is the components patch. It adds the metrics exporter container to the pod, merged by container name, so it appends without disturbing the existing checkout API container. This patch lives in the component folder, written once. Any overlay that includes the component gets this sidecar, and here is the promotion switch. The dev overlay lists the component in its components block, so dev gets the sidecar. The prod overlay has no such line, so prod does not. To finish the rollout, you add this same components block to prod's overlay. One block, fully reviewable, and the sidecar appears in prod. Confirm it. Render dev with kubectl customize, and you see 2 containers, the sidecar is there because the component is included. Render prod, and you see one, the component is absent. The diff between the two is precisely that extra container, a component per capability. Include it to promote, see the rollout state. Dev has the sidecar on. Test has it on. Prod has it off, lagging. The dashed arrow shows the remaining work, add the include to prod, and the promotion is complete. Every step so far has been the same small action, enabling an already authored sidecar, never re-authoring it. Author once on the trunk. Opt-in per environment. Compare the two. Helm uses a gated if block in the template, plus a flag in each environment's values. Customize uses a component, included by each overlay that wants it. In both, the sidecar is authored exactly once on the trunk. And in both, promotion means enabling it for an environment, flipping a flag, or adding an include. The lesson from this use case: a new container is a trunk change, made once. Environments opt in, via a flag in Helm, or a component in Customize. There is no branch to copy-paste into, and therefore no drift. And the diff between an environment with the sidecar and one without shows exactly that one new container. Quick recap. We added a metrics sidecar once, on the trunk. In Helm, we gated it behind the metrics exporter enabled flag. In Customize, we packaged it as a component and included it per overlay. Promotion means enabling it for an environment, a flag flip or an include line, never a copy-paste. A small exercise. Open the use case 3 folder. Render dev, which has the sidecar, and prod, which does not, in both Helm and Customize. Diff them, and confirm the only difference is the sidecar container. Then promote to prod with a single line, re-render, and watch the sidecar appear. Author once. Promote by inclusion. Never copy, flag or component. The sidecar rolls out the same way. That is use case 3. In the final lesson, we go bigger, a whole new pod, plus its configuration.